Alex Javadin. Alex was a 2-year letter winner who has played the quarterback position since 6th grade, and he has always displayed an unwavering desire to learn and master the skills to play that position at a high level, and he waited his turn patiently. Watching Alex mature and grow, both physically and mentally throughout his career, and seeing the work and preparation he was willing to put forth was really remarkable. Because if he wanted to play, he needed to earn it. That was the message from birth. A serious hip injury that required surgery derailed the season for his expectations, and he refused to take his foot off the pedal. He continued to mentor his teammates and prepare as if he was playing. He never stopped being a student of the game, and he never stopped bringing value to the QB room. Alex is seriously considering to continue his football career and has already started his rehab towards that goal.
When I first met Alex as a sophomore, he was just a string bean. But even then, you could tell he had the best quarterback skills in his class. He needed to develop his football IQ and leadership, and we told him that, and he didn't back down from that challenge. The son of a coach, his football IQ didn't take long. Off the field, you can tell he thought of plays like a play caller would. After a few, we'll call them miscommunications with JV play callers, it was easy to see he wanted to put the best output on the field that he could. As a leader, he was a firecracker. In coaching situations, you'd rather say whoa than sick 'em, and Alex had that whoa temperament that fighters could get behind. If you were going to take somebody in a foxhole with you, Alex would be one of those guys. Alex, thank you for your desire to be great and your fight to do what it takes for Mount Lebanon football.
Joy. That's the word I would use to describe Alex as a player and my 2 years being his coach. His absolute love for every detail of the game, his teammates, and Lebo, along with his fun-loving approach to football and the grind that it can be every single day. When Alex set his mind on being our QB1 this year, he did everything in his power to make that happen. Going from the Slim Reaper, weighing a stocky 150 pounds, to adding nearly 40 pounds of weight in preparation to be the starter. He clocked in countless hours with private quarterback coach and indoctrinated himself into the X's and O's of football. I've been around some great QBs during my day, and Alex has proved that his preparation is on the same level as the great ones. Unfortunately, this freight train of preparation and joy and hard work was derailed by injury, which for a lesser young man would have caused them to pout and give up. But Alex did not. He continued to help our team however he could and took David under his wing and showed him what it took to prepare as a QB1. I'm going to miss laughing with you in our QB meetings. I'm going to miss our trash talking during defensive 7-on-7. And I'm going to miss all the nicknames I've given you over the past few years. Slim Reaper, Fat Al, just to name a couple. But what I will miss the most is the light and the joy that you brought our QB group every single day. Your story as a player is still being written, and I know that the best chapters are yet to come. Whoever gets you as a player is going to be very, very lucky.
I'd like to thank all the coaches, especially Coach Palco, Coach Dennison, Coach Reiser. I mean, I feel like they all did everything they could to get me in the best position possible to perform on Friday nights. And then my parents, my mom and dad, my 2 brothers for supporting me. No matter through the goods and bads, they were always there for me.
Jack Murphy. Murph was a program player. He trusted the process and became one of our toughest challenges for the offensive line. He became one of the down men on the scout team that would mirror the opposing defense that we would face that week in practice. He did not take that lightly. Being the competitor that he is, he worked his defensive craft skills that he learned under the legendary defensive line coach Steve Smiley and immediately became an instant headache for us as the offensive line Murph challenged us week after week. He provided us with great competition, and that was to prepare us for upcoming opponents. He will be surely missed. We wish him well.
Jack Murphy. There's no doubt in my mind that Jack Murphy is bound for success in this life. Someone who cares so deeply about what he does is destined for greatness. Someone who works as hard as he does to become the best version of himself on the football field and off the football field is destined for success in this life. Jack Murphy came into his own against Moon early in the season, where he got his opportunity and took full advantage of it by making tackles in the backfield. Murph continued on and got spot play throughout the rest of the year, giving us valuable minutes and reps. It was because of his hard work and his caring that he was able to become a valuable member of the defensive line this past season.
Jack Murphy. If there's one word that best describes Mr. Murph, it's passion. We all remember that Baldwin game when Murphy got his first career sack at the varsity level, when it was nullified by him flexing over the quarterback, standing right on top of him while all his teammates were shaking their head. Murphy didn't realize what happened until he got to the sideline and Palco and Smiley gave him an earful. Upset, Murphy vowed to make up for it. And that next quarter, when he got his opportunity, that first play, Murphy got himself another sack. And instead of doing what he made the mistake the first time, he fist bumped his teammates, walked back like he belonged, and showed that relentless passion that he will carry with him in many great things that he does in life.
First, I want to thank my dad. I don't think I'd be playing football without him. He coached me for all those years, and I couldn't thank him enough. I'd also like to thank all my youth coaches, Mr. Walters, Mr. Heidenreich, Mr. Sala, Coach King, Mr. Texa, all those guys that coached me and, gave a sense of continuity. I always have a good coach every year. I'd like to thank all the high school coaches from freshman year with Coach Frank, and, sophomore year, it was Coach King due to the COVID year, so he was really cared about our young group. And, junior year, Coach Marcellus, Coach Smiley, I couldn't thank them enough, Coach Spieler, Coach Barry, Coach Nee, all those coaches really cared about us, and especially Coach Reiser, I've seen Coach Reiser more than my family, at points, but, it was always great, we always worked as hard as we could, and especially thanks to all Coach Palco, Coach Palco has really, made, Mount Lebanon a destination, and it always will be, transcends the current coaches, current team. Forever, Mount Lebanon's going to be remembered for what he did to this program. And, the fact that, even after we lost, kids are still going down and eating lunch, down there in the coach's office. That shows that we care, and we really care about what Coach Palco wants to do, and we'll always care about it.
Garrett's growth over the past 2 years of me knowing him has seemed limitless. Physically, he packed on the pounds to prepare himself this season, really focused on becoming a great route runner, and consistently worked on his hands. He became a threat at the receiver position this year that other teams had to game plan for when they played us. He definitely took advantage of his opportunity when it came this season. But for me, Garrett the football player will always take a back seat as Garrett the person. He truly made every day I saw him better. I would look forward to getting to school every day and catching up with him on how his Breaking Bad binge was going, or did he see the latest Marvel movie or show, and how things were going with his girlfriend. One of our favorite pastimes to get together is our mutual trash talking of Alex and our ability to get under his skin. The joys of coaching aren't counted by the numbers of wins and losses, but the numbers of kids you impact positively. But the greatest joy I've ever had as a coach is having a kid positively impact me. And that's what Garrett has been for me. I've always looked forward to our talks. I'm going to miss him. I feel like he's a friend to me, and I can't wait to see what he does in the future. And I'm thankful to be his coach.
When thinking about this past season, one phrase or question keeps coming to my mind. Is that Garrett Pavlik? The reason why that phrase keeps coming to my mind is because of the growth and development Garrett made both as a person and a player this season. Back in the summer, I remember watching a gas tank day of sprints and seeing this kid win each rep. I was left saying, is that Garrett Pavlik? Fast forward to camp, there's this kid making one-handed interceptions, moving smooth through the secondary, taking passing options away effortlessly from the quarterback, and beating offensive linemen relentlessly on blitzes to the QB. Again, I was left saying, is that Garrett Pavlik? This theme continued into the season as Garrett became our leading receiver and splash play guy on offense. Many Friday nights, I was left saying, is that Garrett Pavlik? Who would have thought that Garrett Pavlik would be the baby whisperer of our team, being Maverick's #1 go-to guy? Again, is that Garrett Pavlik? Here's the thing, by the halfway point of the season, that question of, is that Garrett Pavlik, turned into a statement. That is Garrett Pavlik. Congratulations, Garrett, on a great season, and it's been really exciting to see where the last 4 years have taken you. I cannot wait to see where things go for you here in the years to come.
Garrett Pavlik. I think Garrett truly is one of our most improved players on the team. Seeing him progress in the summer and throughout the season was really awesome. You know, how he made such improvements and such great jumps was through a consistent high-level work ethic. Whether it was individual receiver drills, blocking, 7-on-7, Garrett always wanted to get better. Whether it was asking myself questions, Coach Dennison, Coach Spieler, he wanted to know how he could get better on a daily basis, and that yielded the results of a really, truly great season. Not only that, but he was a leader in my eyes. He always kept his composure. He always kept his teammates' heads held high and really led by example on a daily basis. And I think the best story that I can remember from Garrett was against Bethel Park. He made a full tilt sprint 70 yards downfield to finish out a block for a touchdown. And without that block, I'm not even sure that we would have scored on that play. But just seeing that effort on a play like that and that level of selflessness is what makes me proud to be his coach. Garrett, proud of you, buddy. Good luck in whatever you have in your future, and I know you'll be successful. Coach Shear.
Well, obviously, Coach Palco and Coach Reiser, they've been the ones that have been here all around, and I've probably, been the closest with them because, Coach Spieler and Coach Jensen didn't come until like the second year, and Coach Barry, he was on defense. I wasn't always the more defensive guy, but in the last year, I've gotten a lot closer with, Coach Spieler, Coach Dennison, Coach Barry. So just all of them, they all help you in their own ways. Coach Barry, he's kind of like one of the guys. He always sends us like clips and like different songs and stuff just randomly. And he just texts you, and then like Coach Spieler and Coach Dennison, they're really great at like helping you out and kind of telling you where you're at and being honest with you. So yeah, and I want to thank like all the other coaches. Like Coach Veitz, he was my OLB coach in a year, and then Coach Frank, who I've kind of always worked with over all 4 years. I'd like to thank, my mom and dad, like especially my dad, like early on. Like I said, I didn't really love football that much, but he kind of pushed me through and got to the point where I like learned to love it. And obviously my mom, she's kind of the one that always would get me here and there and, make me lunch, all that stuff, just always being there for me. And then thank my siblings as well for always coming to my games. Especially in the recent year, they all made sure to get home and catch a couple games.
Anthony Petrogallo, Squirrel, AP, Don Tony, one of my day one dogs from JV. Hey kid, it's been a wild ride these last 3 years. When I look back on our time together, our relationship really grew and it became stronger each season. I reflect back to the times we were together, and I'll never forget us laughing and joking about who has the worser case of ADD, you or me. And to be honest, I think it's me. I remember us talking smack, me going up against you during one-on-ones, and all the DBs know who won that battle, but I won't send the video out to too many more people. Whether at practice or during the school day, you always asking me if I had a stick of gum or some gum that you could have, and then 3 other of your buddies would come in and ask the same thing. You always asking if you could send a selfie to my wife. Those are the little things that pop into my head when I think about our time together, and I'm going to miss them. As a football player, you had some big shoes to fill, and you took on that challenge like a boss. You did everything your coaches asked you to do. You learned corner and safety. You brought energy to each practice, competed, battled, fought through the hard times, and earned that Hawaiian shirt for shutdown corner. What really stood out and impressed me about you was your attention to detail and how you prepared each week leading up to kickoff. AP, you're a leader, a reliable football player, and I'm going to miss you. I wish nothing but the best for you going forward, and please keep in touch.
Number 4, Anthony Petrogallo. You have to be a unique unit, not only to be able to come up with your own nickname, but then to verbalize to others this is what you want to be called, and to then have it stick. So with that, we're forever left with Don Tony. Don Tony, I appreciate you, buddy. I appreciate your consistency this year. I appreciate you being vulnerable and being yourself to the point that it oozed from you how much this season meant to you. Not only did you play lights out, but you also served as our behind-the-scenes guy, the guy that has the heartbeat of the team from the senior class to the freshman class. Many a times, I know that I went to you to get some information or some intel on what's working. How can we do more? What are some areas that we need to improve upon? That's something to me that is a testament to how connected you were and how much you wanted to see this program succeed this year. I know that Louis set a great foundation that you followed and expanded upon, and I know that Vince is in good hands because he's got 2 great role models and examples that he can follow.
Anthony Petrogallo was the heart of Mount Lebanon football. He brought intensity, passion, and spirit on the daily. He was a leader and role model who cared deeply about his own performance, but also his teammates and his program. Under the Friday night lights, Anthony played fiercely and proudly. He was a shutdown cornerback, a hard-hitting tackler, and a skilled ball hawk. Beyond the limelight, Anthony's personality and upbeat attitude were contagious. His smile, humor, and unending questions about the game plan will be long remembered. We love you, Anthony. Good luck.
Obviously, my coaches, every one of them, they helped me throughout the way. From middle school, Pee Wee, all the Coach Walters, Coach Bear, all those guys, and then to high school, every single one impacted me, helping me throughout the way, making me the player and person I am. And then to my parents, wouldn't be anywhere without them. They gave me rides, were my biggest fans, so just super appreciative and thankful of that. Especially my dad. He taught me the love for football I had. Always growing up playing football in the backyard, watching football, going to Steeler games, going to college football games. He kind of just like showed me and built that love for football in me and my brother. Yeah, so thank you to Louis. Going against him out in the backyard kind of like built my competitive nature, and us fighting, probably ending up in tears every time in the backyard. Kind of just wouldn't have been the same player without him, so let's say thank you to him. And then my grandpa, he's been my biggest fan my whole life. Hasn't missed a sporting event, even when he got sick. Was at every game this year, last year, every game I've had that he could make it to. He's been there. Pop, you do so much for me, and you inspire me every day. All the hard work you've been through, all the lives you've saved, and just want to say thank you and love you. And just the rest of my siblings too, Vince and Soph, they've been very supportive and rarely miss any sports games or occasions for me, so I'm very thankful for those people.
Number 3, Nate Sala. Nate, I think we've shared that wrestler's connection since I got to Mount Lebanon and I got the opportunity to start to work with you. I know that the wrestling mindset, the discipline, the dedication, has boded well for you as you've crossed over and made football your focus. I know that you've been through several significant injuries, and it's taken its toll both mentally and physically. But honestly, I've never seen you waver. I've seen you come through on the other side as a better person, as a better player. And I know that those trials and tribulations, although they're hard now, they're going to help you excel with any roadblock that comes your way in the future. One of the big things I can appreciate you, bud, is that you've always been very attentive, very alert, and very aware. And I know that you would give me or anyone else the shirt off your back. And I think that's a testament to the young man that you are. Very excited about your future. I know you have big things planned for yourself. Can't wait to see things unfold and see you succeed.
Nate Sala is the quintessential Mount Lebanon football player. He performed with passion, athleticism, toughness, intelligence, grit, and pride. Beyond the spotlight, Nate was committed to improving his craft, building up his teammates, and leading by example. Most Lebo football fans will remember Nate for his long touchdown runs and explosive defensive hitting abilities. But those of us who knew him best will mostly remember his smile, humor, personality, and his commitment to teammates. Nate Sala was respected and liked by teammates and coaches. All of us were glad that he was on our side. I'm confident that Nate will apply the traits he sharpened as a Lebo football player to his life and professional ventures. We love you, Nate. Good luck, and make us proud.
Nate, I couldn't be more proud of you, man. You showed true leadership through your resilience and your determination this season, fighting through injury and giving effort every day. You were busting your ass, and I'm really, really proud of you. You were a home run hitter as a result of it, and I'm just thankful that I got the opportunity to meet you and coach you this season. Keep that killer mentality. Keep that fantastic personality. Keep shining, brother. Peace.
Definitely thank all of them, especially Coach Powell, Coach Rye. They put in so much time, and sometimes I don't even think we realize how much time they put in, because they're here all the time, bright and early, and then they're not leaving until dark. It's awesome. And yeah, position coaches, Coach Saluga and Coach Powell, they've taught me so much with safety and running back over these 4 years, and it's just I feel like I've really improved over these years, and it's really helped a lot. My parents, they've been real supportive. They've always been there for me. Anytime I've been down, they've just been there to cheer me up. Just my friends, honestly. I mean, they're always there for you. I mean, like whenever you need them, they're just there. Anything you need.
Frank Tinnemeyer. When I think of Frank, I think of a player that is truly selfless and a great teammate. All year, Frank was playing through injury. That hamstring was nagging him constantly all year, and every week it was a battle or a struggle to get him, to play Friday night. But that kid, he sucked it up. He battled. Every time you ask Frank, "Hey, how you doing?" "I'm good, Coach." "I'll be all right, Coach. I'm gonna make it, Coach." And you know what he did? And he went out on Friday nights and he played his heart out. He is one of the most selfless kids I've ever coached. He's a great teammate. He's a very cerebral player. It was a pleasure coaching him because it was like having another coach on the field. Frank, good luck with everything. Thank you.
Frank Tinnemeyer. Frank Tinnemeyer has an incredible knowledge of football. His football smarts allowed him to become our starting center this last season. Frank had the responsibility to make all of the offensive line calls across the board. His word was the final say. He had to know the rules and the assignments of all of the offensive line. That is a huge task, and Frank did it well. Battling back from various injuries, Frank had to endure these this season and never back down. He never worked past his preparation. He continued to be a student of the game, constantly studying to improve himself and the play of his team. His extra practices, both off and on the field, allowed him to compete at the highest level at a very important position. Frank is a good football player and will be sorely missed.
Number 53, Frankie Tinnemeyer. Frankie, you know where I have to start this. I have to start this freshman year. Summer workouts, me and you in the hallway between the weight room and the locker rooms. Nobody else is around, and you projectile vomiting bananas all over the place. The look of concern in your face and just not knowing if this is even real life, if this is actually happening. I knew right then that your level of awareness and maturity would not be matched amongst your peers. I short of saying professional, but I think that the way that you internalize and the way that you look at things, both on and off the field, was in this laser professional type of preparation. I don't want you to think that we're not proud of you or that you can't feel satisfied with what you contributed to the program. I need you to walk away knowing that we are very, very proud of you, that your statement has been made and you will be remembered as a Blue Devil. The things that mean a lot to you will continue to live on. I'm very excited for your future, Frankie. Nothing but the best, buddy.
I'd like to thank Coach Palco, Coach Reiser, Coach Marcellus, Coach Smiley, even though I don't play D-line anymore. Thank you for keeping me a part of that family. Thank you, my whole family, my parents, my brother, my sister, who's a big fan of Mount Lebanon football.
Idris Wilson. Idris made a bit of a name for himself this past season on the kickoff squad. If my math is correct, I have him as being in on 8 tackles total, including 4 alone versus Moon. Highly impressive. Running down full speed looking for contact is not for everyone, but Iddy did so and did so valiantly. I appreciate that, man. Idris was and still is a crowd favorite with his teammates. He is quite the character and can often be found either messing with a teammate or a teammate messing with him. He always seems to be in the middle of some form of shenanigans. I have always been amused watching from afar. Thank you, Idris. I appreciate all the time and effort you have put in over the past 4 years. Good luck moving forward.
It takes a special kind of player to play special teams, especially for kickoff. Idris Wilson is that special kind of player. Now, kickoff is not for everyone. It is an intimidating and physical part of the game. As coaches, we are asking players to run as fast as they can down the field, avoid blockers trying to take them out, and make a tackle on a returner running full speed right at them. However, Idris was a perfect match. Idris is fearless, he's physical, and he's not afraid to make a play. Time after time, Idris would be that guy making a big play on kickoff, helping pin the opposing team deep in their own territory. This would ultimately set the tempo for the defense and provide a much-needed spark for the entire team. Idris, I loved watching you lead the kickoff team this year, and it has been a pleasure being your coach. Best of luck.
Idris, it's been a great year, man. I'm thankful as all hell that I got to meet you. I believe in you. I think you are truly capable of accomplishing whatever you want and whatever you put your mind to. Just keep that great attitude, stay positive, and most importantly, keep shining. I'm thankful for the opportunity to have coached you this season, and I enjoyed every minute of it. I hope you have a great year, man, and thanks for everything. Peace.
I'd like to thank Coach Young, my mom, my dad, Coach Marcellus, Mr. B, and Coach Ryder.
William Tinnemeyer, a.k.a. Jay Willie as he's affectionately known, is another legacy to the Lebo football family. Will unfortunately had his promising senior season and football playing career cut short due to injury. He could have easily left the team and never came around after his surgery. However, he instead chose to be a good teammate by staying involved every day, even during the summer months. By sticking around, he helped the team out immensely during his senior year, mostly helping out with our film crew. This is an integral and extremely valuable part of our program. Will, I applaud you for your team-first attitude, which is also a true testament to how you were raised. I commend you for always doing what was best for your program, the team, or any of your teammates. Even though you were injured, you found a way to bring value to our program every day. Thank you, Will. I can say without any reservations that your family could not be more proud of you. From my perspective, it has been a pleasure coaching you over the past several years, and I've enjoyed every moment of it. It is my sincere hope that the lessons learned from your faith, family, and the great game of football remain with you the rest of your life. You have a very bright future, Will, and I wish you nothing but the best of luck in all that you set out to do. Be sure to keep in touch, reach out if you need anything, and be sure to come back to share your future successes with us.
Big shout out to J. Will Tinnemeyer. J. Will, you had every opportunity not to be a part of the program and part of the process for your senior season, suffering the injury, but hats off to you for finding ways off the field to become a big asset for the program. If you have any questions about what Mount Lebanon football means to Jay Will or his excitement about being a part of the program, just check out any of the video clips from this year or years past, because I guarantee you're going to see him front and center going wild with excitement. You are appreciated, my man.
I'd like to thank Coach Palco for pushing us every day, Coach Reiser for getting us in the best shape through the summers and through the years, keeping us in good shape. My family, of course, my mom, my dad, my sister, my grandparents, my aunt and uncles. I'd like to thank Coach Marcellus, Coach Hathey, Coach Wells, all the O-lineman coaches I've had throughout the years. I'd like to thank Coach Smiley, Coach Giggler, and Mr. B as well for kind of helping us, keeping us PG. My teammates for, pushing me, loving me up, getting on me when I'm not working hard enough, loving me up, just being there for me.
Everyone would probably expect me to talk about JP's athletic contribution his senior year, or his catch made under pressure to set up the go-ahead score versus Central, but that's not the most memorable moment for me. The most impressive memory that I have is JP's junior year. After a season-ending injury, JP showed his true colors. Some people show their commitment by just coming around meetings, or showing they're really committed by showing up at practice. JP became a coach. He took over the scout team. He found his role. He was truly committed and truly wanted to be around his teammates. I truly don't think that JP is a football guy. He's just a competitor. He will not back down from a game, and he'll do whatever he can to help the team. Everybody knows he wasn't a blocker, but he was asked to do that, and he was going to do whatever he could, and he was never going to say no to an opportunity to win. And he was going to smile doing it. JP, thank you for bringing your competitive fire to Mount Lebanon football.
You should take great pride in JP. Well done. JP comes from a very proud family, an academic family, a football family. In other words, a true Lebo football family. His family expects everyone to be accomplished in everything that they do. Therefore, it is no surprise that JP is extremely intelligent and a model student athlete. Due to that fact, he'll be able to choose whatever illustrious college he desires to attend to further his education next year. I'm sure your family is so proud of you for all of your academic and athletic successes. JP, you were awesome to be around both on and off the field. Arguably, you may have had the best sense of humor and personality on the team, making the pleasure of coaching you over the years all mine. JP, you are the embodiment of a student athlete and have so much to be proud of. You will be missed and not soon be forgotten. Best of luck in basketball this season, as well as in all of your future endeavors. Stay in touch.
The one thing that I admire most about JP Walters is his willingness to buy into what the coaches ask him to do. During last offseason, JP was presented with a daunting task. He needed to learn 2 new positions, inside linebacker for defense and tight end for offense. It is no small feat to learn 1 new position, let alone 2. But if anyone could do it, it's JP. Physically, JP made huge strides by getting bigger, faster, and stronger. Mentally, JP put in the work to understand the offensive and defensive playbooks inside and out. His hard work in the offseason paid off as JP became an integral part of our team. Looking back at it though, it should be no one's surprise that JP accomplished what he did. As a person, he is dedicated, intelligent, and can do anything he puts his mind to. JP, it has been a pleasure being your coach this year. Continue being the person you are, and you will be successful in whatever you set your mind to. Best of luck.
So I'd like to thank all the coaches, especially Coach Palco. From the first time he came here, he got this whole thing rolling, and I'm really appreciative of him. Coach Reiser, really appreciative of him too. All the hours he put in with us in the weight room, on the field, just getting us right for the seasons. I'd also like to thank Coach Dennison for being my quarterback coach when I played quarterback, and we've made a lot of memories too. I feel like he's a guy that I can still go to even now just to talk about life outside of football. I feel like we've made a lot of memories together. And then Coach King this year helped me a lot with tight end, switching over to the new position. Took a lot. I probably frustrated him a lot, not really knowing how to block, but he helped me with that. And same with Coach Bueller. Coach Bueller helped me out a lot with the transition too. And then on defense, I didn't really play defense, but I was still technically a middle linebacker this year, so I'd like to thank Coach Weitz for being in the meeting room every day, and he was great this year, and I'm looking forward to seeing him coach in the future too. And then just Coach Calici, I'd like to say thank you too, because when I was hurt, me and him would always throw and we'd mess around a little bit, and we'd just have fun. And he's still a guy I can go to today and talk to when I need anything as well. I'd like to thank my family. My brothers and sisters have been amazing, just supporting me through every step of the way. And then my parents, I thank them the most. My dad coached me all through first through sixth grade in football, and he loves it, and he was always there for me. And then at high school, he would do the color commentary on the live streams. And then my mom was always just there for me to, not really worry about, she wouldn't really judge me at all with football, just be there, and I could just talk to her about how things were going, and she would just listen and always be there for me.